The elevator stopped between the 47th and 48th floor with a violent jolt, and for the first time in her billion-dollar empire, Victoria Hale had absolutely no control. The lights flickered. The air felt smaller, and the only other person inside the steel box with her was the building's repairman. In the next 60 seconds, he would fix something that had nothing to do with wires, cables, or circuits, and everything to do with the wall she had built around her heart. Stay with me, because what happened in that elevator didn't just change a machine. It changed a life. Victoria Hale did not believe in delays. As the youngest billionaire CEO in the city, she ran Hale Dynamics like a military operation. Meetings started on time. Deadlines were sacred. Weakness was not tolerated, especially in herself. Her navy designer dress was flawless. Her posture was straight. Her expression was carefully neutral. That morning, she had just dismissed 3 executives for underperforming. Efficiency was power, was safety. But safety vanished when the elevator shuddered and froze mid-rise. "Oh, what just happened?" she snapped, pressing the emergency button. A calm male voice answered from behind her. "Looks like we're stuck between floors." She turned. The man crouched near the control panel was in a blue maintenance uniform, sleeves rolled to reveal strong forearms smudged with grease. A black tool bag rested open beside him, wires and instruments neatly arranged. A laptop sat balanced on the floor. He didn't look panicked. He looked steady. "I have a board meeting in 12 minutes, she said sharply. He gave her a small nod. "I'm Ethan." She didn't offer her name. Everyone knew who she was. "I'll get us out," he continued. "But I need you to breathe first." "I am breathing." He gave her a look, not mocking, not impressed, just observant. The elevator lights flickered again. The enclosed space seemed to shrink. Victoria felt an unexpected tightness in her chest. She hated small spaces, hated the feeling of being trapped. The memory surfaced before she could stop it. A little girl locked in a dark closet during her parents' brutal arguments, hands over her ears, promising herself she would grow up powerful enough that no one could ever trap her again. Her breath quickened. Her breath quickened. Ethan noticed immediately. "A panic doesn't fix cables," he said gently, "but it does make it harder to think. I'm not panicking. We're gripping the railing hard enough to bend steel." She looked down at her white knuckles. He shifted closer to the control box and began unscrewing a panel with efficient precision. "Oh, sometimes," he said casually, "the thing that needs fixing isn't the obvious one." She let out a tense laugh. "We're a philosopher now?" "A single dad," he replied. "Comes with the job." That caught her off guard. "You have children?" "A daughter, 8 years old. She thinks I'm a superhero because I fix things." He paused, then added softly, "I try to fix the important things first." Victoria swallowed. The air felt thinner. "I can't be stuck in here," she whispered. And it wasn't about the meeting anymore. Ethan looked at her, really looked at her. I looked at her. "You're not stuck," he said quietly. "You're just between floors." Something about that sentence hit her harder than the elevator's jolt. Between floors, between who she was and who she pretended to be, between success and something that still felt strangely. He connected 2 wires, tapped a sequence on his device, and reset the system override. The entire process took less than 60 seconds. The elevator hummed back to life. But before it moved, he turned to her. "You built something extraordinary," he said. "But you look like someone who hasn't allowed anyone to fix the parts that hurt." Her breath caught. He didn't know her, and yet somehow he did. The elevator resumed its ascent. Victoria stood still, not because the elevator wasn't moving, but because something inside her was. The doors opened on the 48th floor to a crowd of anxious executives. "Ms. Hale, we were about to call emergency services." "I'm fine," she said automatically. But she didn't walk out immediately. She turned back to Ethan. "A thank you," she said, the words unfamiliar on her tongue. He nodded and began gathering his tools. No expectation, no awe, no recognition of her status, just quiet dignity. As she stepped into the boardroom minutes later, something felt different. The presentation screens glowed. Charts projected profit margins, growth forecasts, acquisition plans, and suddenly it all felt smaller. She found herself asking questions she had never asked before. "How many employees have requested schedule flexibility this year?" Her CFO blinked. "I'm not sure." "How many single parents work here?" Silence. Victoria remembered Ethan's calm voice. You're not stuck. You're just between floors." After the meeting, instead of rushing to her next appointment, she walked back to the maintenance office. Ethan looked up, surprised. "Something broken again?" he asked. "Yes," she replied, and he froze. She wasn't joking. For the first time in years, Victoria spoke without rehearsing. She told him about her childhood, about chasing success to outrun fear, about never trusting anyone enough to lean on them. "Oh, I thought if I fixed everything around me," she admitted, "I wouldn't have to face what's broken inside." Ethan listened without interruption. "You know," he said finally, my daughter once broke her favorite toy. She cried for hours. I told her I could glue it back together, but the crack would still be there." Victoria felt tears sting her eyes. "She said that was okay," he continued, "because cracks mean it survived something." Silence filled the room, not uncomfortable but real. Over the next months, changes began at Hale Dynamics. Mental health programs, flexible schedules for parents, scholarships for children of maintenance workers. Victoria started therapy. She attended employee appreciation days, not as a CEO on a stage, but as a woman learning how to sit at the same table. And she kept seeing Ethan, sometimes in passing, sometimes in conversation, not because she needed him to fix machines, but because he had reminded her that power without compassion is just another kind of cage. One evening, months later, she stood in the elevator alone. It moved smoothly now, but she pressed the emergency stop button deliberately. Just for a second, the silence didn't scare her anymore. She closed her eyes and breathed. Then she released the button and smiled. Because she understood something now, being stuck between floors isn't failure, it's a pause. A moment to decide whether you'll keep building walls or start repairing what truly matters. Sometimes the most powerful people are the most wounded, and sometimes it takes someone with grease on their hands and humility in their heart to remind us that the most important systems to repair are not made of steel and wires, but of trust, courage, and compassion. The elevator only stopped for 60 seconds, but in that minute, a billionaire learned that the greatest repair isn't about fixing what's broken around you. It's about allowing someone to help fix what's broken within you. And maybe, just maybe, we are all just between floors waiting for the right moment to rise.